Virgil Ortiz shares with us what he sees in his near future. Stay tuned.
Guess they forgot who I am and what I represent, what I stand for. It's the king for a fall, but I outshot them all. They ain't talking just material, I'm talking overall.
Showboating Sports, guys. It's your boy Scott Free. Man, before we go any further, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Keep the channel growing, man. Share it with your friends. Send that link out. Put it on your Facebook. Let's get everybody into this party. Anyway, Virgil Ortiz was doing some interviews, and he was talking about what he sees in his near future. They asked him about some of his wants, about who some of the boxers he wants to fight, about him signing up to a new group, a new promotional company, management company is basically what it is. But he said that he's still with De La Hoya and Golden Boy, that he's going to work some things out with them, but he just wanted to kind of lighten the load on his father because his father was doing a lot of stuff outside the ring, in his own personal life, trying to be dad, plus be his manager, plus be his trainer. It's just too much on his dad. It's kind of overwhelming. So he wanted to kind of lighten the load on his father. So he's trying to get everything in action. And for those of you who don't really know Virgil Ortiz, he's a welterweight, upcoming welterweight. And I think he is, I think Virgil Ortiz is almost a mandatory for, it might be Terrence Crawford. He might be getting ready to be the mandatory for Terrence Crawford. I know Sean Porter is right now, but I think Sean Porter leaped over top of him for that. But anyway, Virgil Ortiz is a younger fighter, one of the newer upcoming fighters that's coming out. He comes out in the class of like Jaron Boots Ennis, really Ryan Garcia and all of those other guys. And his record is 16-0. So like I said, he's an upcoming kid. I think he understands that he wants to make it to the top. He said he wants to fight some of the people in the top 10 or top 5, he said, but they won't fight him. So he said about in the next 1 or 2 fights, he should be ready for that. I don't think that he's 100% ready yet. I think that he has a little bit of naiveness in the ring. Same thing I think with Jaron Boots Ennis. But I do think that the people in the top 10 should give him a shot. I would like to see somebody like Jaron Boots to fight Ugas. Ugas would be a really good fight for him. Maybe even Sean Porter, But Sean Porter might be on the rough end, but because Sean Porter makes it hard on any fighter. But that's a good way of proving yourself because they was asking Virgil, did he think about fighting Jaron Boots Ennis? And he said that he saw what Jaron was saying, and they kind of have talked. And what they both kind of come up with is that, well, what he came up with, Virgil Ortiz, that's what I'm talking about. He said that what he came up with, he would like to fight Boots Ennis, Jaron Boots Ennis, but he'd like to fight him later on in the career, make that a super fight. And I think that's what should happen. I don't think that those two little young fighters should cancel each other out. And I think a lot of older fighters try to get younger fighters to do that so they don't have to fight them when they see these little hungry lions coming up. But I think that people that's below the top 5, between top 10 and top 5, in between there, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think those guys should give Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz a fight at their spot. Because if you really think about it, you got Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Earl Spence, and really in the top 5, right? I'm trying to make sure I didn't leave anybody else out. That's my top 5 right there. Anything up under there would probably be somewhere in there. And this is not in order. You got Mikey Garcia, Ugas. And the reason why I didn't put Pacquiao in there, because you can't really count Pacquiao, because I think Pacquiao's got 1 foot in retirement. You know what I mean? I don't think Pacquiao's got too many more fights left in him if he has any. It's been talks that Pacquiao's going to fight Conor McGregor, and he's earned it right. He's a Hall of Famer boxer, so he's earned that right, man. So I don't think he needs to get in with those other guys. I really think Pacquiao just needs to retire and release the belt and let some of the fighters that are trying to become undisputed fight for his belt. But in case he doesn't retire, then I put him in the top 5. Well, he's top. I'm not gonna say he's the top welterweight because I really don't think Pacquiao can beat Earl Spence or Bud Crawford. So I got Pacquiao like number 3 in the welterweight division. That's just my opinion on it. But back to Virgil Ortiz, I don't want him and Jaron Boots Ennis to cancel each other out. And I think a lot of people love for the little fighters, the younger fighters, just to hold them down where they don't have to fight them, to keep them out the loop, make them cancel each other out. And I don't think they should. And I think the younger crowd, these younger fighters like Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Boots Ennis, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Tank, Devin Haney. You got all these young fighters, and they all coming up. They all hungry. And I think that a lot of them, they want the money, but I think they got that heart like they did back in the 80s where they just want to fight everybody. You know, the thing that Bud displays and Earl Spence Jr. displays too. I think Sean Porter's like that too, because I got to give Sean Porter credit. Sean Porter has fought, man, he's fought everybody. The only person Sean Porter hasn't fought yet is Keith Thurman. He fought, not Keith Thurman, I'm sorry, Terrence Crawford. He's fought Earl Spence, Danny, Keith, Broner, Ugas. Only person he hasn't fought is Terrence Crawford or Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia ain't a proven welterweight to me. I mean, he does okay, but he's got to really beat somebody. I don't think Mikey Garcia can beat anybody in the top 5. Not any of the top 5 that I've named. But anyway, it goes back to those guys. I think they have heart. And Sean Porter has heart too. I'm not saying those other guys don't, but Sean Porter has fought everybody. You know what I mean? I think Danny Garcia was kind of doing more picking and choosing than Sean Porter was, because Danny Garcia, the only 2 top people he has fought is in the welterweight division, Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. That's his best 2 fights in welterweight, which that's saying a lot. It really is. But Sean Porter has fought everybody except for Bud Crawford. So we need our welterweight division to step up. And they all need to fight each other so we can find out exactly who's best. Don't let Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Boots Ennis fight now. Let them get into the other welterweights. Like, I would love to see Jaron Boots Ennis fight Mikey Garcia, Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight Ugas. And that would tell us exactly where those guys are. And I think those are doable fights. I really do. I think Mikey Garcia would take that fight. And I think Jaron Boots Ennis would beat Mikey Garcia. But anyway, guys, put in the comment section about what you guys think. So, look, fight fam, that's it for me. That's straight up no chaser. So until next video, man, I'm out.